This video is full of tips to improve your active listening in face-to-face meetings and also in virtual ones. Happy present moment and welcome back to our channel. For those who don't know me, I'm Jeanette Salvatierra. Thank you for joining our community. Remember to subscribe, please, and find out the most useful and trendy to become a fulfilled and prosperous business person. In this world of constant interruptions, thanks to connectivity, to the virtualization of our meetings, school classes, and even social events, active listening becomes more important skill, an activity that involves the person totally. It starts with the right mental attitude, open, free from prejudgments or preconceived ideas about what is going to be heard or about the person who speaks to us. It requires us to pay attention, to connect to the here and now as in a mindful practice. And it also requires that we must adjust to the flow of the conversation, asking questions to clarify, rephrasing without interrupting, and listening, as I like to say, with the whole body. Deciphering visual cues like facial expressions or body postures, detecting emotions in the change of the tone of the voice, speech, speed, and emphasis, even allowing our bodies to act as an energetic compass, giving us signals about the vibration level from the other person we are listening to. As leaders in organizations, in our own companies, or like mothers and fathers, active listening will help us fulfill our role more effectively and, in addition, building bridges of empathy and compassion that will improve our interpersonal relationships. Then let's summarize until here. Attitude, attention, and adjustment, the three elements of active listening. I'm going to share with you now 3 exercises, one for each element of active listening, created specifically for this age of hybrid interactions, part face-to-face and part virtual. If you are liking this video, remember to leave us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and comment your opinion, share your opinion, or leave us a question or suggestion. This is important to grow the community so more people can benefit from this content that we create with so much love and care for you. Well, now let's start with the exercises. Exercise number 1, L comes before S. This simple rule of reminders on mnemonics invites us to listen before speaking. The attitude which we have to start any conversation to actively listen. This exercise combines visualization and reflection, 2 powerful tools to developing habits. Start by locating a quiet place where, without distraction, you can make your visualization and write down, using pen and pencil preferably, your thoughts and ideas. Select a situation where you would like to apply active listening. It can be a work meeting with a very important client, the family meal as an opportunity to listen to our children or teenagers, or an interaction with that friend that always poses a personal drama to you. Now close your eyes. Visualize yourself entering in that conversation with the attitude of listening before speaking. Imagine asking questions to clarify an idea or validate if you understand correctly. If necessary, imagine that to break the ice, you invite your interlocutor to speak in a with a question like what's new or what's the current situation since our last conversation. Rehearse in your mind how the conversation is going to flow, and reminding you all the time that you have to have an open listening attitude. Listen before speaking. When you already easily visualize yourself with that attitude, open your eyes and reflect in writing, answering the following questions. How will the relationship will change if you are active listening? How will you will change as a person, parent, leader, applying active listening? In a practical way, what have you reflected will apply in your next conversation on that situation? Write down your answers, and after your next conversation, go back to your notebook to reflect about what exactly did you did or not during the actual interaction. Exercise number 2. Guess what I see? This exercise is more like a game that reinforces attention, and it's perfect to do with our children to teach them active listening and help them improve their attention during their virtual classes at school. The idea is to make it fun, choosing images or characters favorite of the little ones, and I don't know, researching and getting prepare all images about these situations or these characters previously to start the game. A descriptor is designated, and the rest of the participants are called audience or listeners. Let's say that you, as a parent, are going to be the first descriptor, and your children will listen to you. Later, you can switch roles. The descriptor begins mentioning some features from the image or the photograph in detail, but not revealing the identity of the character or the place. Children must listen carefully and only ask questions requesting you to repeat something or validating that they have met the character. For instance, Mom said, okay, this character wears a skirt, and children can ask, is that a long skirt, or let's say, what's the color of the skirt? A mom answer is a blue skirt. The children then start to write down or listen, keep listening, and moms can say the character walks in a very cold bath and she goes alone. Children can ask, is this Snow White? No, because the road is made of ice. And children can say, okay, is this Princess Elsa? And so on. The descriptor will give information, and children will listen attentively so they will be able to figure out the character or who the character is. You can make this description in this exercise about characters, sports, activities, objects that children like, and you can also enrich the activity asking the children to draw the answers based on the descriptions they are hearing. To make the game more interesting, agree on a time to ask questions, let's say between 2 or 5 minutes depending on the age of the children. At the end, comment, for example, is it important to ask questions to understand? What kind of questions are there to ask? Did someone repeat what they heard to make sure they hear it correctly? Why is it important to listen correctly? This game can also be played with between adults, in pairs, as an activity on a workshop on communication, or between friends just for fun. Exercise number 3, the 5 whys. This exercise is to develop adjustment, which means, in simple words, being able to follow the thread of the conversation, is a speech or masterclass, and deepen our understanding of the subject that is being discussed. This exercise is based on asking clarifying questions to discover the reasons that support what exactly the expositor of the speech or the teacher is saying. Their values, their principles, or the result of their investigations or the data that support their claims. And of course, although not in all situations, questions can be asked immediately, doing it mentally, or better yet, writing down those questions to do it later at the end of the presentation or the class will help you stay focused and in a receptive attitude. Okay, for this exercise, let's identify a person, preferably someone who has a opposite vision than yours on a topic or event or a person. Let's say your friend is vegan and you die for a steak. The idea is to understand the point of view of the other person by asking a maximum of 5 questions of the type why so forth, or why, etc. Obviously, you are not going to ask all the time plain whys like a 2-year-old. The idea is to build a question so that you can go deep in the understanding of the other person's point of view and why it's different from yours in a respectful and 360 empathetic way, as I like to say, which is both rationally, understanding the rationality or the facts behind their claims, and also emotionally. Here is an example of the conversation with our vegan friend. Me. I wonder, friend, what you are going to serve during the Thanksgiving dinner now that you're vegan. Her. Instead of the turkey, we're going to have eggplant lasagna. Me. Why prefer vegan food? Here, because you don't encourage animal cruelty. Me. Why is that? Here, because turkey are raised and slaughtered with great suffering. Me. And why is that important for the person who eats the turkey? Here, because that suffering and pain is adrenaline that is trapped in the meat of the bird that you eat. So to a certain extent, you are eating fear. Me? Oh, I have never seen that way. Notice that in this example, and in general, it's like that, only with 3 clarify question or disguise whys, you can get to discover the reason or belief behind the behavior. Especially when it comes to very sensitive topics, we may need probably up to 5 why questions. That is why this exercise indicates that you should use maximum 5 why questions to dig deeper into the reasons behind the idea or the behavior. After performing the exercises and to thank your friend to help you practice, reflect on how this exercise help you understand the other person's point of view. Having asked the questions why make you feel in some special way, how it make you feel? What would you do from now on to adjust your active listening skills? How you are going to go through to ask more in-depth questions. This is all the 3 exercises that I have for you, and As a reward for your active listening, I leave you in the description of this video a link to a PDF or a giveaway with the detailed steps of each exercise. But the link title will be in code. It will say pay here to mislead who don't see the video until now. Thanks for watching, blessings for you and your business, and see you soon in an upcoming episode of Jeanette Salvatierra TV.